Right, so we have first to deal with the Simsbury Aquifer Protection Agency special meeting called to order at 6:47 this evening. We have Commissioners Ryan, Peterson, Gray, and Pomeroy in attendance. Hopefully we'll have others as we arrive. Today we don't need any alternates. The minutes of November 18th, when we last met. I have to apologize and say I didn't get a chance to look at these, but we didn't do much, did we? At that meeting?
No, they're
All right,
fine.
so they look fine, so we'll adopt those as submitted. And today, we're here to discuss the renewal of existing Aquifer Protection Area Registration AP 11-01 for 1340 Hot Meadow Street. Map 105, Block 439, Lot 004K, acceptance of materials management plan, and transfer from Business Loan Center, Inc. to Pride Limited Partnership. Now, just a point of order here. We're going to discuss this issue at some length at the Zoning Commission. And so what we're really trying to do here is have this meeting first to approve primarily the materials management plan, or, right? Okay. So we got Howard to talk to us about, so why don't we go ahead and do that?
Very briefly,
Yeah.
Bob Bolduc provided here to do a presentation, just paperwork standpoint. The Aquifer Protection Area Regulation does allow transfer of registrations from one party to the next. Mr. Bolduc has filed all the necessary paperwork, so we're meeting tonight to approve the transfer of the APA registration from Valero to Pride. The second is the issue of the Valero station was out of business when they filed their initial registration. Therefore, they were not required to do a materials management plan because nothing was going out of the site. Now that Pride intends to open the store and run it, they have to submit a materials management plan. They're doing that tonight as well, and I've reviewed that. And that's more than adequate for what the state requirement is. So,
Okay.
recommending acceptance of that. The third issue, which will be handled, I guess, primarily at the next meeting, is the demolition and complete reconstruction of the buildings. The one that I'm particularly concerned about, or whatever, is the one at the north end of town. That's the one that's in the Aquifer area. The one in the south end of town at 518 is in for strictly site plan review. The one at the north end of town directly overlies the confluence of two major aquifer recharge areas up there. And speaking with Mr. Bolduc, we've had 5 or 6 meetings leading up to tonight. He has agreed to install not only what is required by the state in terms of secondary containment for piping and the tanks themselves, but due to the incredible sensitive nature of that particular area and the catastrophic potential of where there could be a spill, he has agreed, or Pride has agreed, to install a heavy industrial rubber liner underneath the tanks and the pumps. So in the unlikely event that there ever was a failure of this primary and secondary containment in the piping systems themselves, that there would be a third line of defense with a monitoring well so we can check that continuously. But it's kind of a belt and suspenders approach, but they've indicated that they intend to be part of the community for a good many years and want to be a good citizen here, and we're willing to take that extra step.
Right. So you're satisfied with this process,
Yes.
Howard?
How do they monitor it? You said they monitor.
Right, there are the normal monitoring systems that are built into the primary and secondary system, which Mr. Bolduc will explain. But in addition to that, we have this liner that goes underneath the whole thing like a bag. That will have PVC monitoring wells in it with a T on the bottom, so that whether it's water or product or anything that accumulates in that well can be accessed from a test port on top and checked on a monthly basis or whatever, just to make sure that nothing has leaked, either water leaking into the membrane or petroleum leaking into it or anything else.
Okay.
Howard, what's the water table level? How far down is the water table?
It's about 27 feet. I mean, it's not.
And what's the bottom of the bag or the process to the water table?
Probably another 12 feet or something. Mr. Bolduc could explain the specifics of it. Generally, the tanks are about 12 to 15 feet in the ground to the bottom of the tank, and the liner would be immediately under that and then coming up.
Thank you.
I think at this point, unless I miss it, Howard, The first two items would be under the proper jurisdiction of the Aquifer Protection Agency at this time. The third one, should they wait until they look at the site plan to do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to explain the fact that this is above and beyond what's required, from an aquifer standpoint.
Right.
Balance of it is basically a site plan.
Okay. So the Aquifer Protection Agency will renew the registration for this location and accept the materials management plan and the transfer. So that's what we're doing today, and then we'll get a more detailed presentation for the zoning commission. Is that satisfactory to all the commissioners to do that?
I understand.
Jerry, you're welcome to join us if you'd like, but. All right. Yeah. All right. So I guess I look for a motion.
We should move to accept the transfer of ownership as presented here and the materials management plan that has been submitted.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? All right, so that's approved. And Hiram, you'll take care of the paperwork necessary for that. All right.
Thank you very much.
So then I'd be looking for an adjournment of the,
Can we adjourn?
Second.
all in favor, say aye. So it was moved
Aye.
by Mr. Ryan, seconded by Mr. Gray, approved unanimously. All right, so that concludes the Simsbury Aquifer Protection Agency special meeting. Not a world record, but in the neighborhood.